Welcome, dear listener, to a journey unlike any other. A journey where history, myth, and the quiet rhythm of storytelling weave together to create the perfect companion for your night's rest. As you settle into your bed, as you allow your breathing to slow and your body to sink into the softness of your pillow, I invite you to close your eyes and let yourself drift into a different world, one that belongs neither fully to the past nor fully to imagination. Tonight's story will take you to a realm whispered about in ancient times, a place known to poets and mystics as the eternal city of dreams. This is not an ordinary tale of kings or battles, not a loud story of conquest or empire. Instead, it is a gentle journey through myth and memory, a soft exploration of a city that exists only on the edge of sleep. It is a city of moonlit gates, silver-paved streets, and rivers made of forgotten names. It is a city where longing and memory take shape, where the voices of the past linger like faint echoes, and where every stone and tower is woven from the fabric of human dreams. As you listen, you will feel yourself slowly guided away from the noise of the waking world. The stresses of your day, the worries of tomorrow, the endless chatter of thought, all of these will begin to quiet as the story unfolds. You will hear of gates carved from moonlight, of marketplaces where dreams are traded like precious treasures, of palaces spun from clouds, and of councils of dream weavers who shape the visions of all humankind. Each description, each image, is crafted to lull you deeper into a state of calm. This is more than a story. It is a soft pathway into sleep. The words flow slowly, like a gentle river, carrying you further and further away from the weight of waking life. You may not even hear the ending, and that is perfectly fine, because the purpose of this journey is not only to tell you a myth from ancient times, but to give your mind and body permission to rest. So, allow yourself to surrender. Let the sound of my voice guide you gently. Imagine the city rising before you, shimmering at the horizon of your mind. Imagine its gates opening, its towers glowing faintly in the starlight. You are safe here. You are welcome here. And as you walk the silver streets of the eternal city of dreams, you will find yourself falling into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. This is your time to relax. This is your time to drift. Welcome to the eternal city of dreams, a myth from ancient times. May this story be your gentle companion tonight, leading you softly into rest, into stillness, into dreams of your own. The Eternal City of Dreams, a myth from ancient times, Section 1, The Whispering Sands of Time. Before empires rose, and before the names of kings were etched into stone, there were only stories. Among the oldest of them was the tale of a city not marked on any map, a city born not of brick or marble, but of dreams themselves. Ancient poets called it Somniora, while wandering mystics whispered of it as the eternal city of dreams. It was said to exist just beyond the veil of sleep, shimmering on the edge of human memory, where the borders of waking life and imagination blurred into one. Travelers along the desert roads of Mesopotamia swore that, in the stillness between night and dawn, they heard faint bells and saw towers made of silver mist rising over the horizon. To them, the city was neither illusion nor reality, but a sanctuary promised by the gods, place where human longing and divine artistry touched. Yet no mortal could stumble upon it in daylight. It could only be entered when the world grew quiet, when one surrendered to slumber, when even time itself slowed to a hush. The ancients told their children that every dream, no matter how fleeting, was a step along a hidden path to Somniora. And thus, the story begins not with a king or conqueror, but with a question whispered into the night. What lies in the eternal city of dreams? Section 2 Gates, carved from moonlight. Legends describe the gates of Sogniora as unlike any in the mortal world. They were not made of bronze like those of Troy, nor of marble like those of Rome, but of moonlight woven and solidified into a pale arch. To approach them was to feel the air itself grow lighter, as if the weight of waking burdens melted away. The gates never appeared in the same place twice. One night they might rise from the shoreline of the Aegean. Another, they might hover above the sands of the Sahara. And sometimes they appeared to simple shepherds watching their flocks under the stars. But entry was not guaranteed. Dreamers told of guardians who stood watch figures robed in veils of starlight, neither man nor woman, who held staffs tipped with fragments of meteor stone. To be admitted, a traveler had to offer not gold or jewels, but a memory, the first laugh of a child, the smell of summer rain, the sound of a lost lover's voice. Only by surrendering something dear from waking life could one step across the glowing threshold into Somniora. And so, countless souls passed through the gates, leaving parts of themselves behind. The city fed on these memories, it was said, weaving them into its streets and towers. Every stone of Somniora was alive with human longing, and thus the city grew with each passing century, as eternal as dreaming itself. Section 3. Streets of Silver Dust. Those who wandered within spoke of avenues paved not with stone, but with silver dust that sparkled under invisible starlight. Every footstep left no mark, as if the city remembered only its own perfection. Houses of translucent crystal leaned against one another, their walls humming softly with voices of forgotten tales. The air smelled faintly of jasmine and cedar, and a quiet music neither song nor instrument floated endlessly through the streets. The eternal city was not silent, yet it never echoed with chaos. Markets existed, but they sold no bread, no fabric, no spice. Instead, merchants traded in moments. A man might offer the memory of his childhood summer in exchange for a stranger's dream of flying. A woman could purchase the echo of a lullaby once sung by a mother long past, paying for it with the thrill of her first kiss. Each exchange left the dreamer lighter and heavier all at once, emptied and fulfilled. Yet for all its wonder, the city bore an unsettling truth. Nothing in it could be carried back. When dawn touched the world, every gem, every tower, every fragrance dissolved into mist, leaving the dreamer with only a faint ache, as if they had left a part of themselves behind. Section 4. The River of Forgotten Names. Through the heart of Somniora ran a river said to be drawn from the tears of gods. Its waters were dark, yet glimmered with fragments of light, like shards of shattered stars. The people of old believed this was the river of forgotten names, where every memory cast aside at the gates, every dream traded in the marketplace, drifted endlessly on its current. Dreamers who dared to stand by its banks heard whispers rising from the waves, forgotten lullabies, the voices of parents whose faces could no longer be recalled, the sound of festivals once celebrated under long ruined temples. Some claimed that if you gazed long enough into the river, you would see your truest self, staring back not the self you knew, but the self that had been lost to time. It was forbidden to drink from its waters, for those who did risked drowning in memory, never waking again. Yet tales speak of lovers who leapt into the river together, choosing eternal sleep over separation, their bodies dissolving into the current as new stars flared to life above. Section 5. The Palace of Endless Slumber. At the center of the eternal city rose a palace vast enough to rival Babylon's hanging gardens, yet built not of stone or timber. Its walls were spun from dream silk, shimmering and shifting colors with every heartbeat. Pillars taller than redwoods rose into a sky that was neither night nor day, and domes floated overhead as though suspended by unseen hands. Within lay chambers filled with the sleepers of age's kings who had sought refuge from burdens of rule, warriors who could no longer bear their wounds, mothers who longed to cradle their children beyond death. They lay upon couches of soft cloud, eyes closed, breathing slow, suspended in dreams that stretched beyond lifetimes. It was said that at the palace's highest chamber sat the dreaming king, a figure cloaked in twilight, neither young nor old. His crown was made of stars, and his throne pulsed like a heartbeat. He never spoke, yet dreamers felt his voice resonate within their bones, telling them that the eternal city was not merely a place, but a mirror of their own longing. Section 6. The Council of Dream Weavers. The city was not without its rulers besides the silent king. In a great hall veiled in mist, a council of 12 dream weavers gathered beings older than empires, whose faces shifted with every glance. They were said to spin the fabric of dreams for every soul on earth, weaving sorrow and joy, fear and hope into the nightly visions of mortals. Travelers whispered that each dream weaver had a domain. One spun threads of courage, another of grief, another of desire, another of destiny. Their looms, vast and unending, clattered softly, producing tapestries that unfurled across the skies of Somniora. The dreamers who wandered near could sometimes catch glimpses of their own lives, woven into those starry-clawed moments yet to come, or moments they had already forgotten. Yet the council was not infallible. Sometimes the threads tangled and nightmares escaped, stalking the city streets like shadows with eyes. It was in these moments that the eternal city revealed its danger, for just as dreams can comfort, they can also destroy. Section 7. A shadow of nightmares. No paradise exists without its shadows, and Somniora was no exception. From cracks in the dream-woven walls crept the nightmares, shapeless figures with hollow faces and teeth like jagged glass. They fed not on joy but on fear, and their whispers could unravel the strongest dream. It was said they were born of broken promises, of grief left unresolved, of wars fought in vain. Ancient warriors who had witnessed slaughter claimed to see their ghosts stalking the avenues of the eternal city, reminding them of blood they wished to forget. For every gate of moonlight, there was also a door of shadow, an entry through which nightmares slipped into mortal minds. But Somniora itself balanced these forces. For every nightmare that chased a dreamer down silver-paved streets, there appeared a light to guide them back, a lantern, a friendly face, or the sound of a familiar song. In this way, the eternal city reflected not perfection, but the endless struggle between peace and fear within the human heart. Section 8. The Pilgrims Who Never Returned. Throughout history, mystics, philosophers, and poets sought the eternal city deliberately. They fasted, meditated, and journeyed to sacred sites, hoping to pierce the veil of sleep more deeply than ordinary men. Some succeeded, or so the stories claimed. But their return was uncertain. There were whispers of monks in India who lay down to sleep and never rose, their faces serene, as if they had chosen Somniora over the waking world. Sailors spoke of captains who followed the dream gates beyond the horizon, vanishing without trace. In Alexandria, it was said that a scholar once mapped half the city in his sleep before his ink turned to mist at dawn. The ancients debated, was the eternal city a gift or a trap? Was it meant to offer solace, or was it the god's cruel test, tempting mortals to abandon their duties for eternal slumber? The question lingered across centuries, as enduring as the myth itself. Section 9. The dawn that shatters dreams. For all its wonders, the eternal city could not resist the coming of dawn. As the sun's first light brushed the world, Sonmiora trembled. Towers of crystal dissolved into pale mist. Silver streets grew faint until they faded entirely. The river of forgotten names slowed to silence. Dreamers woke with the weight of absence in their hearts, unable to recall the details yet haunted by a sense of loss. They reached for jewels, voices, and faces that had vanished into the dawn. Some spent lifetimes chasing that feeling, returning night after night in hopes of glimpsing Sonmiora once more. But the city was never the same twice. What one saw in youth might never return in old age. The eternal city was a fragment of the soul itself, always shifting, always vanishing, always just beyond reach. Section 10. The Eternal Echo. And so the myth endured. From Babylon to Athens, from the fjords of the north to the deserts of Arabia, the story of the eternal city of dreams was told and retold. Parents whispered it to children as lullabies. Poets wove it into verse, and philosophers debated its meaning by firelight. Was it real, or merely the projection of human longing? Was it a reward for the weary, or a reminder of mortality? Perhaps the truth is simpler. The eternal city exists in every dreamer's heart. It rises whenever a weary soul closes their eyes, whenever a traveler yearns for home, whenever love is remembered or grief is soothed. It is not bound to a time or a place, but flows like the Danube, like the Nile, like the Ganges, eternal and unending. And if you listen closely, tonight, as you drift into slumber, you may hear faint bells in the distance. You may glimpse towers of silver mist. You may, for a fleeting moment, walk the streets of Sonmiora, the eternal city of dreams, before dawn gently pulls you back into the waking world. Section 11. The Gates of Starlight. Beyond the first dream avenue lies the Gate of Starlight, an archway forged from fragments of fallen meteors. The stones themselves seem to pulse with faint silver light, as if each shard still remembers the sky from which it fell. Travelers who pass beneath the gate describe hearing distant voices, not of people, but of constellations, soft, whispering tones, promising guidance to those who dare to step deeper into the eternal city. To linger too long, however, is to feel your thoughts drawn skyward, as though the stars wish to claim your mind forever. Section 12. The Market of Forgotten Echoes. Within the heart of the city rests a marketplace of silence, where merchants sell not goods, but memories. On tables carved from petrified wood lie jars that glow faintly, each containing a whisper from the past. A soldier's vow, a child's laughter, a mother's final blessing, all captured in crystal. The market never closes, and its vendors ask no payment but attention. Those who stop to listen may find themselves weeping for emotions they never lived, or smiling at joys not their own. It is said that the eternal city thrives upon these traded echoes, feeding its walls and streets with the warmth of memory. Section 13. The River of Slumbering Gold. The river that winds through the eternal city is no ordinary current. Its waters shimmer with liquid gold that neither burns nor hardens. By day, it reflects sunlight in dazzling arcs that paint the bridges above. By night, it glows faintly, casting ripples of golden light upon sleeping faces. Legends say that to drink from this river is to see the story of your life unfold, not in sharp detail, but in drifting images like dream paintings. Many fear its waters, for not all wish to witness the endings written for them. Section 14. The Hall of Endless Footsteps. This immense hall stretches further than sight can follow. Its floor is made of polished obsidian, smooth and cold, while its walls are adorned with footprints pressed into stone, millions upon millions of impressions, each from a traveler who passed through. The hall is never empty. You can always hear the soft echo of footsteps, even if no one else walks beside you. Some claim these are the sounds of past wanderers, still circling endlessly, unable to find rest. Others believe the echoes belong to future travelers, already marked in time, walking paths yet to be lived. Section 15. The Gardens of Perpetual Twilight. Beyond the stone districts lies a series of gardens locked in eternal dusk. The flowers here glow faintly, not with sunlight, but with an inner luminescence, hues of violet, pale blue, and silver. The air smells of lavender and rain, carrying a stillness so deep that even birds seem unwilling to disturb it. Wanderers often lie in the soft moss beneath the glowing trees, drifting easily into slumber. Those who wake claim to have dreamed not their own dreams, but visions of people long gone, dreams borrowed from the city itself. Section 16. The Library of Silent Scribes. Deep beneath the eternal city rests a library carved into living rock. The shelves stretch higher than any ladder, filled with scrolls and books written in dozens of forgotten tongues. Pale figures known only as silent scribes move endlessly among the shelves, recording new words with quills made of starlight. No sound escapes their lips. They communicate through gestures and the scratching of pens. Scholars say that every story ever told, every thought ever dreamed, is written here. To read a page is to step briefly into another's mind, drifting through their hopes and fears. Section 17. The Tower of Breathless Bells. At the city's edge stands a tower of pale stone, rising higher than the tallest cloud. At its peak hang dozens of ancient bells, yet none are ever struck by human hand. Instead, the wind itself moves them. Their tones are impossibly low, resonating deep within the chest of anyone who listens. These bells are said to mark the passing of forgotten time, ringing not for hours or days, but for dreams and lifetimes. Many wanderers who hear the bells fall into sudden sleep, waking days later as though no moment is past. Section 18. The Court of Dreaming Masks. Here, in a wide circular plaza, masks of every design and expression are displayed on marble pillars. Smiling, weeping, enraged, serene, each mask is carved from bone white porcelain. At night, the masks glow faintly, and those who dare to wear one find themselves transformed. Not in body, but in spirit. A shy person may laugh boldly, while a proud one may suddenly weep. The eternal city, it seems, allows no soul to remain unchanged. Travelers often leave the plaza unsettled, their hearts burdened with emotions they cannot name. Section 19. The Chamber of Lanterns without flame. Suspended in a cavernous hall are thousands of lanterns, each hanging from invisible strings. They emit no fire, only a pale light that pulses like the beat of a heart. If one approaches closely, faces appear within the glow faces of the forgotten. They do not speak, but they watch with eyes that seem both kind and sorrowful. Some believe the lanterns are guardians of dreams. Others whisper they are souls waiting to be remembered. To walk among them is to feel the immense weight of history, pressing gently yet insistently upon your chest. Section 20. The Bridge of Vanishing Steps. This bridge stretches across the Golden River, yet its stones appear only as you step upon them. To hesitate is to see them fade back into nothingness, leaving a chasm beneath. Travelers must walk with faith, trusting that each new step will reveal solid ground. The bridge is a test of courage and surrender. Those who cross it claim that the city grows warmer, its walls brighter, as though it acknowledges their bravery. Those who falter often turn back, choosing never to risk the unknown. Section 21. The avenue of sleeping statues line this long boulevard, their faces serene, their eyes closed as though caught in eternal slumber. Each statue is carved with lifelike precision, their features so delicate one might think they breathe. Legends say these are not statues at all, but wanderers who chose to rest too deeply within the city. Their dreams were so sweet they never returned to waking. At times, passers-by swear they see a finger twitch, or lips curl into the faintest smile, as if the statues are still lost in pleasant visions. Section 22. The chamber of whispering walls within this hall. The walls themselves speak, not loudly, not clearly, but in soft murmurs, like voices carried through water. Some hear lullabies, others hear fragments of warnings. The walls remember every conversation ever spoken nearby, storing words as stone stores heat. Travelers may press an ear to the marble and hear voices of centuries past, confessions, secrets, declarations of love. Many leave quickly, unsettled by hearing their own words repeated back to them in tones not quite human. Section 23. The hidden courtyard of eternal rain. There is a courtyard where it is always raining. The droplets fall softly, never heavy, shimmering like strands of silver. The rain leaves no puddles, no mud. It simply vanishes upon touching the ground. Those who step within find themselves overcome by a deep melancholy, but also a strange peace. Some wanderers stay for hours, letting the rain wash away thoughts too heavy to carry. When they leave, their faces shine as if cleansed, though their clothes remain perfectly dry. Section 24. The Pavilion of Glass Birds. Hanging from the vaulted ceiling of this crystalline structure are thousands of birds sculpted from glass. They hang still by day, refracting sunlight into dazzling colors. But at night they stir. They fly with wings that tinkle softly, producing music too delicate for words. These birds never tire, never fall, and never break. Some whisper that each bird carries the soul of a dreamer who wished to soar forever. To watch them is to feel lifted, as if one's own heart could take flight. Section 25. The Fountain of Slow Time. At the center of the eternal city stands a fountain that flows not with water, but with liquid light. Its streams rise and fall in perfect arcs, yet to watch them is to feel your heartbeat slow, your breathing deepen. The fountain seems to bend time itself. Minutes stretch into hours, and hours into entire nights. Many travelers sit by the fountain, lost in thought, unaware of days slipping past. When they finally rise, they find the world outside has moved on without them. Section 26. The Chamber of Broken Crowns. In a forgotten wing of the city lies a chamber filled with shattered crowns, diadems, and circlets of ancient rulers. Each fragment lies on the ground, scattered like fallen leaves. To touch one is to feel a surge of ambition, followed quickly by crushing sorrow. The eternal city reminds all who enter that power fades and glory crumbles, leaving only dust. Yet many visitors cannot resist kneeling before the fragments, as if bowing to memories of grandeur long gone. Section 27. The Path of Unfinished Dreams. This winding road is paved with half-finished mosaics patterns that begin brightly but end abruptly, as though the artist was called away mid-stroke. Travelers who walk here often see visions of their own unfinished tasks, projects, or desires. Some feel motivated to return and complete them. Others feel despair at what can never be finished. The Eternal City offers no judgment-only reflection upon what remains incomplete within each heart. Section 28. The Chamber of Eternal Sleep. In this final, hidden hall lies a circle of beds carved from ivory and lined with velvet. Upon them rest travelers who came seeking ultimate peace. Their faces are calm, their breathing soft, their dreams unbroken. No one knows whether they will ever awaken. Some say they have become part of the city itself, fueling its eternal presence. Others believe they are merely resting until the end of time, dreaming a dream so perfect that they need never return. Section 29. The Stairway of Returning Light. At the edge of the city rises a stairway carved from quartz, each step glowing faintly beneath the feet of those who climb. The stairway leads upward, toward an opening where dawn always waits. Those who ascend find themselves waking from the dream, their memories of the eternal city fading like mist. Yet the warmth of its peace lingers. They carry it back into their waking hours, as though a fragment of the city has chosen to stay within their soul. Section 30. The Farewell of the Eternal City. In the end, the Eternal City is not left behind, it leaves you. The walls blur, the lanterns dim, the streets fold into shadows. The last sound is always the soft ringing of the breathless bells, bidding farewell. Travelers awaken with heavy eyes but lightened hearts, certain that the city exists still, waiting beyond the veil of dreams. It asks nothing, promises nothing, only offers its quiet gift. A sanctuary of peace, where restless souls may drift at last into sleep as deep as eternity itself.